You know, I read once that in some places there are beautiful French women that spend their whole lives dedicated to the art of crafting the finest French loaves. Upon reading this, I thought of the last French loaf I had eaten. How sweet and fluffy it was. How the crust melted as soon as I laid it on my tongue. And then I thought of the fair French maiden who crafted my sweet loaf, and how she must have spent days, even weeks, kneading and rolling my loaf. I thought about the satisfaction she must have felt when my loaf was complete. And finally, how fortunate I am that the loaf made it to me. Because 9 times out of 10, the loaves are used by their French maidens to beat their French husbands into submission. The sad thing is, while all of these romantic French escapades are taking place, the majority of the world lives their lives in mind-numbing monotony. I know I do. The only thing I have to look forward to is the smell of freshly opened cereal boxes. It's customary to wash your hands before you eat, so naturally I do. But I never saw any use for it. My hands never filth. No siree. No grime upon these white beauties. My mother always told me that you should always take risks in your life, at least once every day. In my prime, I sometimes took a healthy 2 or 3 risks a day. But 4, never 4. 4 is simply too reckless. When I was at the post office last Tuesday, updating my subscription to Better Home Magazine, I saw a little girl over by the stamp machine that reminded me of someone I knew. Myself.
You know what's better than fresh fruit off the tip of a katana? Back in 42, I bit the head off of this girl's French poodle. He was giving me the stink eye, telling me things no man should hear at the altar of his cousin's wedding.
What were you doing at the altar?
I was opening.
Opening for what?
I was the opening act for the wedding.
But when does the poodle come in?
It comes in when it wants its head bitten off.
You guys never cease to put me in my favorite egg-shaped pod chair.
We never had an egg-shaped pod chair.
I did! My intentions of coming back here were sure as sugar!
It's impossible to be sure about sugar in this day and age.
Now let's think rationally here, Corporal.
You know, you can't be too sure about sugar. That got me all the way to the South Pacific Midget Marina. It's where they wear those little hats, but they don't give you one. They just roll around and make fun of you. And then they drive you insane until you just use them as bait for Siberian whales.
The only problem about using them as bait is the carbonation in their bloodstream. It gets in the whales and it just makes them burpy.
This is ridiculous!
About the Siberian whales. They're rather nasty, and you should be thankful to have a friend here such as Corporal Elton that cares so much about the environment.
Well, the truth is, feeding the whales is really more about killing the midgets. You see, I try to kill as many animals as I do humans. And it's really tiring work because how many human souls weigh heavy on my heart.
Look! I can't be here. I left my stove on! Ah! This isn't me anymore!
Is this not you?
No. It's just some black kid.
Oh yeah, that's just the village black kid.
That was a long time ago. But I'm not the man I used to be.
You're the finest man I've ever seen with a sniper crowbar.
The only weapon I wield is a healthy diet.
The fact of the matter is, we need you.
No, I don't really want to be here.
Just hear us out, one last time. For your old pals.
Your old buckaroos.
For your cahoots. Your brothers.
Your old floppy knockers.
And then you're free to go.
I just listen and I'm free?
Just listen.
So all I have to do is just listen and then I'm free to go on with my life?
You'll be as free as a bohemian turtle, basking in the sun.
That's a pretty bold statement.
Now let's get down to business. The Canadians keep abducting our operatives. Usually we let it go, but
Wait, what?
Canadians keep abducting our operatives.
There's that word again.
What? Abducting?
No, Canadians.
Canadians. You know, like people from Canada?
No, doesn't ring a bell.
You know, the country above the United States of America? Canada.
No, not familiar.
Anyways, as I was saying, the Canadians keep abducting our operatives, but this time, they took one we actually need. He is one of our finest agents. He dealt mostly with Iranian affairs and was very close to obtaining their plans for nuclear war. While he was on his afternoon snack and stroll around the pond...
It's quite difficult to snack and stroll. But it's quite necessary.
He's right, you know. But even our new snack and stroll policy wasn't enough to keep him from getting coaxed into Canadian captivity.
They took him mid-bite. Right in the middle of his bite.
We're asking you and Corporal Elton here to infiltrate the Canadian headquarters and retrieve our beloved operative.
To infiltrate and suffocate! Hey! Hey! We told you you could leave, but we never told you you would survive. You must have forgotten how secluded our base is. There's not a city or civilization for 1,000,000 miles in every direction. You're sure up faster than you can say Fajitas Grande.
Why does it have to be me? Why can't it be you?
You know I can't leave this outpost. I was breastfed here.
The most dangerous thing I do is take my dog for a walk longer than usual. I even wear rubber gloves when I go bowling.
You think you're so normal, don't you? With your comfy little couch and your subscription to Better Homes magazine? Well, you're not. Because if you were normal, you would have just opened that letter and read another bill and gone on that way until you died. This will always be a part of you, no matter how hard you try to get rid of it.
Okay, but can I turn my stove off first?
Yeah, but it's time for us to part ways.
We'll go to the cabin in the woods. I've never understood why toilets and airplanes are in the back. Unless you have an aisle seat, it's just embarrassing when you go to the bathroom. If everyone had a toilet in their seat, it would save everyone from looking like fools.
What?
We could call it the comfort commode, and we'd make $2 million.
Corporal, I'm not in the mood to talk toilet with you.
Sometimes you need to talk toilet, because if you don't talk toilet, your toilet will never talk back.
Hey, Corporal, did you grab my water bottle when we stopped for lunch?
I got it right here.
Why would you think it's okay to put your fingers in my water bottle? Ah!
What's in this stuff anyway? It's all bubbly.
Not my Perrier. It's good for digestion.
You know, this reminds me of my last backpacking trip, back in the French Riviera with Frederick.
You mean backpacking, right?
Backpacking was all the rage throughout France.
Did you go pouring up people's water there too?
Only when Frederick's left toe was hurting.
Who's Frederick?
My old killing partner.
What?
We had a license to kill. The only license I needed was Frederick. And the only license Frederick needed was this Homo sapien right here. French people, German people, Russians, Spaniards, Spaniards on horses, Spaniard mailmen, and Portuguese glitz bowlers.
Ah! Wait, did you say French people?
Lots of Frenchies. Lots of civilians. Well, mostly civilians. We like killing them too.
Innocent people? That's terrible.
Well, you can call them whatever you want, but they're the same old Frenchiladas to me.
Really? All those innocent French people?
Look, if they weren't meant to die, I wouldn't have killed them. Everyone I kill, I justify in some way.
Why would you do that? They won't hurt anybody. Well, unless you soggied up their toast.
Haven't you justified killing people before? You know, now that you put me on the spot, I think the reason I killed them was just because I just genuinely hate French people.
What about all their bread? All their wonderful bread!
Bread, like all things, gets moldy. And I believe the French have gotten moldy. Now we're just speeding up the decomposition process.
So, guess it was for the greater good.
Precisely. Do you know anyone who likes the soon-to-be-dead French people?
What do you mean, soon to be dead?
I mean the ones that I haven't killed yet.
Well, I can't say I know anybody who does.
Well, Frederick's house is down on the way. This is Frederick's house. Don't show him your toes.
What?
Yes, the foyer was designed by Leonardo da Vinci.
Is this the original woodwork?
Yes. 14th century cedar.
I would have thought it was post-plague.
You're not the first to say that. shall sit.
What?
There will be no resting of the tushy under this roof.
Listen, dude, we're tired. We just want to get some rest. Our feet hurt.
Did you wear the proper foot socks?
Yes.
Then there shall be no pain. Listen, I fixed a bed for you two so you can rest your little toes there for the night.
You remember how I like my bed?
I never forget. Extra peanut butter. Oh, boys. Yes. Do you believe in magic?
I've known to keep my distance from some things.
An operative is what you seek?
Of course.
I have placed the coordinates of the Canadian headquarters in this bottle. Forever tuned with the bonds of magic. But if the bottle breaks,
But what happens if the bottle breaks?
an absolute horror will be unleashed!
What kind of whore?
A filthy, nasty, dirty whore!
Springfield, I don't like the sound of this. It's time to go. Dude, just get up! Let's go find those Canadians.
Man, that Frederick sure seems like a nice guy.
Frederick? That was Willie.
We just left his house!
Frederick's the chair. Let's go get those Canadians.
I think that's a mistake that they will both soon regret.
We're at the Canadian base.
Canadian, huh?
I'm gonna go scope it out. Stay right here. Canadians! Canadians everywhere! We can't go in there right now. Canadians! Ah! Canadians!
You me in the nuts!
Canadians! Over.
Could you stop touching me?
Let's go get them. Never.
Okay, but if you do that again, you're gonna owe me dinner and a movie. Woo!
I didn't think you would make it this far.
As did I!
Well, 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 it looks as if my plan to dispose of you two carpetbaggers failed. I guess I'll just have to take care of you myself.
Well,
Looks as if it's just you and me, Springfield.